See. All right. Shalom, Israel. This is the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. And as you know, if you don't know, this is Wednesday's law class. And I don't know if you know, but the entire Bible consists of the law, because keeping the law is well, keeping the commandments, right? With that being said, if you don't know, we do edify Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And since 1969, and we have been doing so, right? With that, today we're going to get into what? Wisdom is obtained through the commandments. Now, let me follow me now. Let me get this situated real quick. All right. There we go. All right, so for you guys to follow along with me, I'm going to pull up the scriptures so you can follow along with me. And we be on the same page. Share my screen. All right, there we go. Let me see what I wanted. All right, that's good enough. All right, so my first scripture would be 1 John 2 and 3. It's very important that I go here first so we do understand the importance of what keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Of course, you go into these religions. Of course, the number one religion on the face of the earth that has destroyed us is Christianity, right? We all know that. It definitely is Christianity. With that being said, we have to separate ourselves away from Christianity because Christianity is not good for us. Christianity does nothing good for us. And this scripture reads, and I'm going to break it down to let you know why these religions do nothing for us. This is the book of 1 John chapter 2 and verse 3. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. If we keep his commandments. Now, when you read this, you sometimes, miss out on words and stuff, right? The reason why I emphasize we is because we are a nation. That's what we are. We are a nation. We are a nation of people. He said, if we keep his commandments. He didn't say if you, which means what? The entire nation has to keep his commandments because the Lord judges nations. That's what he does. He judges us as a nation, just like he judges nations. He judges the so-called Caucasian man as a nation. For what their forefathers have done to us, they're getting judged as a nation, even though they may have single-handedly not been there and done those certain things, right? I'm going to just say that for lack of better terms to keep it as simple as possible, right? They may have not been there, right? But they still get judged because in Isaiah 14 and in verse 21, it says, prepare slaughter for the iniquity of your forefathers. That's what it says, which means what? They have to get judged as a nation according to their works that their forefathers have done. And they reap the benefits of what? Obtaining the earth through having us captive and worshiping and working underneath their feet. And the Lord says to prepare slaughter for their children. for the iniquity, for his children, Salakia, for the iniquity of their forefathers. Which means what? You have to be judged as a nation. And you may single-handedly not have been there, but you have to be judged according to God, right? So why say all that? I say all that to say this. And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. That's how we know if we love God. And by saying that you love God just as a word is not going to get you anywhere. But if you actually put forth the effort to say that you love God, you have now attained wisdom. That's what you have now attained. I'm paraphrasing, but to fear the Lord is wisdom. That's what it is. You're a wise person if you fear the Lord, because if you really know what God does and that he does not love everybody, then you'll understand that, hey, I need to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. I need to fear the Most High, because at any given time, he can take me out in a plethora of ways. I'm here living life thinking it's all cool, I'm good, I'm Gucci, and then bam, he cut the lights on you. You see, this is why how I put this. This is why I love the Most High, because the Most High does not go back on his word. And the Most High, just how Christ's gonna pop up like a thief in the night, that's how he pop up to give you your judgment. And Christ's gonna come do the same thing when he crack that sky. It's still gonna be people that's eating pork, that's eating shrimp, that's eating crab, eating lobster, and thinking that stuff is cool. It's still gonna be people touching on little kids, raping people. It's still gonna be people identifying as the alternative lifestyle community, right? And they're gonna be living their life. And when Christ come back and crack the sky, he came like a thief in the night. Because when a thief in the night comes, you don't know what time of the hour he's coming. Now, that doesn't mean literal that he's going to come in the night. It just means at any given time, he can come in the day, the night, the evening, the afternoon, at dusk, whatever have you. And that's how God deals his judgments when you don't keep his commandments. You living your life here in America and you over there smoking weed at the club and you living good, and then bam, you got a tragic death and you died, and all your friends are left behind to say, hey, he was gone so soon. He was a good person. When in all actuality, he wasn't. Why? Because he didn't murder people? Why? Because he didn't rape people? Why? Because he didn't touch little girls? But you know what he did do? He did smoke weed. He did eat pork. And he did attend church. All three of those things right there alone count you out from having a chance to attain the kingdom of heaven. And when you follow the ways of America, you become a fool, and you're not wise. You are unwise because you think that those things are good. And why are you unwise? Because you are following a fool. And the only thing that a fool creates is another fool. Monkey see, monkey do. Our parents always been saying that since we was little. Well, we follow the oppressors, monkey see, monkey do. And guess what? Now we are reaping the benefits of following these fools. That's what's happening. Instead of keeping the commandments, because the commandments are what? Wisdom. And I'm going to show you how it's wisdom. We're going to get deeper into that. I'm going to show you how these commandments can be wisdom unto your life. Right? So we're going to go to verse 4. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. The truth never abode in you. Meaning it was never just in your genes. It never was in you. The truth is not in you. You can't tell the truth and you cannot abide by the truth. He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar. Hold up. Am I tripping that this just said that? Am I tripping? Well, we're going to get this in the scriptures. We're going to get this just as the scripture says, right? Because we already know that the first commandment is what? You shall have no other gods before me. But every time we go into the Christian church, who are we representing? I mean, who are we serving? Caesar Borgia. Who is Caesar Borgia? A heathen. And who do we profess him to be? The Messiah. And or if you go to the Christian church, they say that Caesar Borgia is God. That's what they say. They got the whole Trinity thing, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. They say it's all one. So they saying that Caesar Borgia is supposed to be the Messiah Christ, and it's saying he God. But your whole logic is that God created everything. So God created himself. That's ultimately what you're saying. But you see how foolish that sounds? It sounds foolish because you're making up false idols. You're making up false gods. You're making up ideologies that do not exist. And therefore, when you follow these ideologies that do not exist, you become a liar. You become a hypocrite. And you're unable to follow God for real. You're unable to follow Christ for real and keep the law, statutes, commandments, and have the ability to obtain wisdom because you're so far gone in the ditch of following fools and you don't want to get out. And that's what we have to understand. We have to understand that you can become wise by keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. And how do I know? Well, the men and the women and the kids that are in the ISUPK are living proof, because the life that they were living prior to it, before they renewed their mind, was totally different. I'll give you an example. If you have a brother or a sister, right? They used to smoke weed. They used to eat pork. Now, of course, growing up 30, 40 years of your life, you think that this is a good thing because you can pray over your food. You learn in a Christian church. The pastor never said nothing about it because he was a liar. Because he was following who? The oppressors. And the oppressors told him to lie. Or the oppressors just blinded him so much that when he even tried to say anything about the scriptures, he's saying their story. So ultimately, he's lying to you, right? And let's say this particular sister and or brother, right, comes into the truth. Now, you go to the scripture where it says to not eat pork. Leviticus, the 11th chapter and the 7th verse, where it starts. And it says the things that we can eat that have cloven footed and that cheweth the cud, and ones that don't, and ones that are in the waters of what we can eat. And it breaks it down. So now, not only do they stop eating pork, now you've broken it down to them to let them know why not to eat pork. And you don't even have to go into the scientific ways to say that pigs don't have sweat glands. So everything that they sweat stays inside of them. That's why when you get bacon or you get cuts of pork, it's naturally salty because that's sweat. Pigs eating marshmallows, they eating other pigs, they eating their own feces, they drinking piss, right? They eating dead people, right? You don't got to know all that. All you need to know is what? That God said don't do it. And if God say don't do it, and you say you love God and you abide by God's laws, statutes, and commandments, then it would behoove you to what? To listen to God. See, a lot of times we always say, God is talking to me. God be talking to me in my sleep. No, that right there don't be happening, especially when you dwelled in a false religion and you worshiping idols that are false, right? And you're a hypocrite and a liar and just a filthy, stinking individual. God not whispering in your ear, because John chapter 9 and verse 31 says, the Lord heareth not sinners. I mean, he don't hear your prayers. And if he don't hear your prayers, what make you think that he gonna come visit you at night and whisper in your ear when he just seen what you just did when you came from the club? Now you back at home. Why you just unalived one of your brothers and not his mother crying and you sleeping good at home. And you're gonna say God talk to you. And then on Sunday go to church. Wear your best outfit, then eat the pork in the church, and then go back Monday, go to work. Go to work Tuesday. Then Wednesday, you got Bible study back in the church. And then next Friday, you going back to unalive one of your brothers again, slide on the block. Why you got pork chops in your mouth and a cigarette on your ear? God not hearing you, man. If you indulge in those things, you are a sinner. And you're a liar to say that you love God. You're a liar and you have no wisdom. You're a fool and you will fall into your own ditch as a fool does. And that's what you fail to realize. That's what we're failing to realize, because we're so blinded by the T.D. Jakes, by the Kirk Franklins, by the Joel Osteens, any other pastors, right? We were so blinded by Malcolm X, right? And Martin Luther King, who else is a political leader, right? So on and so forth, etc., right? We are blinded by these people, and they lead us further astray from what? Keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. Shalom, y'all. Bashim, y'all. Shabarakatah. Tamakia. The water for tuning in, right? We are blinded by the fact that they're leading us astray. You understand that? See, Malcolm X didn't have the truth. He taught what? He taught the Islamic faith. The Islamic faith is what? The Islamic faith is a what's the word I want to use? The Islamic faith is a false religion. It's fake. Nothing about it has anything to do with Yahweh or Yahweh Shai. It has nothing to do with us because it's not a part of our nation. But you see, it came a point to where we started to coexist with it, and try to make it a part of our nation. And by doing so, we said, hey, I want to go worship Allah. I want to do these things and do these things. Right? And they take certain bits and pieces out of the scriptures and try to apply it, and they just build it up, you know what I'm saying, surrounding more on their faith that they already have, and bam, you got the Islamic faith. When in all actuality, it's nothing in the Islamic faith is of God. For number one, they made their own God called Allah. Allah not even real. God's real name is Yahweh, not Allah. His name is Yahweh, not Allah, not the Buddhist God, not Judaism, not Hinduism, not Rastafarian, not Christianity or Roman Catholicism. You see, they switch all these names in these religions, and they coexisted with who? God. The one that's in the heavens. That's what they do. When that's not his name. You calling somebody the wrong name. Let me ask you a question. If you told this person your name, let's say Billy and Mandy, they meet. Billy know Mandy, Mandy know Billy. Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Billy. Hey, nice to meet you. My name is Mandy. Okay, we know each other. And Billy turned around and called Mandy Sarah. What Mandy gonna do? She either gonna ignore him, or she gonna be like, who you talking to? I don't know no damn Sarah. My name Mandy. That's how God's reaction is when you calling him Allah, or you trying to make Allah a part of his name, like, oh, it coexists. Like God looking at it like, this is not on my birth certificate, right? I'm just giving out metaphors, right? Of course, God ain't got no birth certificate, right? But I'm just saying, like looking at it like he like, what in the hell? Like, man, man, this ain't real. Shalom, y'all about y'all Shabbarakatah. What's going on, Warrior? What's going on, Ricardo? For joining in, the water for joining in, right? He looking at it like, who you talking to? And then not only on top of that, you sinning while you trying to call him my name. Let me give you an example on how it's going, how it could be, right? I'm just throwing out a theory. Let's just use your example, Christians. Let's say it was a stairwell to heaven, make it to the top. Is a hell of people behind you, but you've been waiting in the line, right? You claim you go to heaven. You get up there, it's a checklist, right? God's sitting way past the gates. He way at the top of his throne. At the check-in, it's like a little angel, like a security guard, right? Checkpoint is the angel. And then he looking on the list, right? Now, before you see God, you think that if you get your name written off on the list, or did he say your name, that you're going in? So he say your name. he say, John, report. You come up there, and you excited, you happy, and then he start reading off the list. He was like, an exceptional man, kept the law, statutes, and commandments, had an exceptional diet, fed the homeless, read the Bible, cared for his brother, right? He's saying all this stuff. And then he said, those are all the things you should have did. And you're like, what? What you mean? He's like, I just named off all the things that you Can you hear me? All right, no sound correct, right? So now you was geeked and happy. And he named all the things that you should have done and how you should have been as a man. And then he tells you all the things that you did do. But before you thought all those things that he named, you did. But you were a fool. And he says, depart from me. I never knew you. You get kicked off the god doggone heaven gates. And you're not going to heaven. You go to hell. Now that's your logic, Christians, right? All I'm saying is, what I'm really trying to say is, don't get to the last bit and not do the things that strive to be perfect, like Christ was in Job, right? Don't get up there and you thinking the entire time in your foolish mind that you have appeased God when you haven't, because the ways you have been taught to appease God are not the ways to appease him. They're not. This is literally the Bible. So like the Bible is literally a direct manual. It's like a car manual to every part in every situation that goes on in life with Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. How to solve every solution, how to be as a man, how to lead the nation, how to care for your brothers and sisters and love them, how to treat them, how to go about talking to them in a proper manner, the proper dietary laws, right? The proper feast days, the things that you should rejoice in and the things that you should mourn in. This is literally a manual to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians' life on how to serve God. That's what it is. And if you look this manual and you say, if you go to your car manual, you say, well, I wonder what oil my car needs. You know, you don't have to go to the mechanic shop. You can look right in your car manual that's prescribed with your car when you buy it. You look in it, it says, well, you need this such and such oil. Now you go to the store, you can buy it yourself, get your little funnel, do it yourself. Or you can just go to the dealership and they say, what oil do you need? Now, some already know, experienced mechanics, right, that work at the dealerships or work at the auto shops, they know. But if he's new, he'll ask you. Now you know, you're like, hey, this. Now you know the exact thing to put in your car so it don't mess up. Now, in the Bible, it says the exact things that we need to put in our body to survive, to be healthy, and the exact things to not put in our body that we will not survive and not be healthy with. And you look right there in the Bible. And it says in Leviticus, the 11th chapter and the 7th verse, to not eat pork, to not eat the swine, because he cheweth not the cud. We literally have the cheat code, and you disobey the cheat code. How many times we don't play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas? You know, I'm growing up, I'm playing on the PlayStation 2. So they had a little cheat code that you can go and get on the internet and print it out with all the cheat codes. There was always certain cheat codes that people would use. It was the infinite guns, all the guns, infinite ammo, And then another one, I think is either cops turn the blind eye or you have like super speed. You can run super fast. Right? So looking at that, I'm like, well, I got the cheat sheet. I'm finna type this in exactly as it is, as it appears. I'm not finna mess up. That's what I'm saying, what the Bible is. The Bible is a cheat sheet to life on how Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians can survive and thrive. But the moment you go and follow these false religions, the moment you go and worship these pagan holidays, you become a liar and you're not using the cheat sheet, which is the Bible. Right? Let me get my okay, I'm on verse 5. Verse 5. You go ahead, read it. You get a chance. Mm-hmm.
The book of 1 John, chapter 2, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him.
Right. But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. What does that mean? What does that mean? That means that you have no fault in loving God. Like you really love him because you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, which means what? You are 100% correct in your judgment, in your mind. But if you say I love God and don't keep the commandments, the love of God is not perfected in you. And he's not with you. He's not in you. He's not. You would be an enemy to God because you do not keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and you lack wisdom. But if you keep the law, statutes, and commandments, you gain wisdom. And why do I say that? Because when we were in the Christian churches, when we were in the Rastafarians and the Hinduism and the Buddhists and the Islamic faiths, we had no knowledge. That's why Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians were steady searching to try to find who we really were. In the midst, when we first started out, they had people saying that we Africans still. They're saying we Africans. And then some Black people started waking up and say, I ain't no dang African. And now they're trying to search like, what am I? Well, I'm just Black. Then you search deeper and you starting to feel like, where do I come from? Who am I? What is my real nationality? What are these people saying they're Jews? Now you start searching, right? Now we go into many different types of religions. We go into many different denominations of religions, trying to find out who we are. Because we don't love God. But we're trying to find God so we can love him. But we're too busy giving these false idols and false religions and false holidays our love. And therefore, the love of God is not going to be perfected in that because those are idols. That's filled with hypocrisy and liars. And the Most High God says that he hates hypocrites. He hates liars. He hates pagan holidays. He hates pagan religions. That's why every other time you look around, they falling. And they got to build up another religion, name it another name, and make up another God. Because that's stuff that the heathens do. But as for us, we shall serve the Lord. As it says in Joshua, the 24th chapter. For our house, we're going to serve God. And that's what you ought to be doing. Hereby know we that we are in him. One body, man. On same accord. But if you go astray, you're not one body. You for everybody. And that's what we cannot be. We can't be. Because doing that, you are a fool. We were fools to be at the top and follow the ways of the heathens. Like I always say, oh, the grass green on that side. Let's go follow what they say. Did it, and then what happened? The Lord gave the earth into the hands of the wicked, And who are the wicked? The so-called oppressors. Then what? We went into captivity under the foot of them. Now, of course, the things that happen in captivity should have never happened. You know, cutting babies out of women's stomach and cutting people's toes off and unaliving people should have not happened. That happened because they are wicked and estranged from the womb. They just sick individuals. But as far as the captivity goes, that was a part of chastisement that the Lord put on us. And maybe during that time, we could wake up and come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. But during those times, we fell subject to their gods and holidays, and we didn't have no might in our hand through the times of slavery. We just gave in. So the more we gave in, the stronger they got. And the stronger they got, they beaten us down to the core to where we have nothing left in our bodies. Absolutely nothing. We ain't got no fight. We ain't got no might. We damn sure just getting run over, getting stepped over. We getting stepped over how AI did Tyronn Lue. They're gonna walk all over us. We ain't gonna defend ourselves or do nothing. And that's the problem. That's the problem right here, is that we must fight back. And how do we fight back? Through God, through the scriptures. Because our weapons are not carnal. This is a spiritual battle. And to knock our oppressors off in this battle and win this battle, it's a spiritual thing. It ain't gonna be no carnal thing. God been on our side for millenniums. God been on our side since David and Moses, right? God been on our side since the days of old, since the prophets of back then. Once you show God that you love him, he'll be on your side. But if you just want to take your hand and slap the Father in the face, hey, go ahead and do that. You're gonna get the consequences that's coming for you. If you see that suits your life better, right? Let me get Isaiah 5:20. Yeah, Isaiah 5.
Chapter 5, verse 20.
Mm-hmm.
Woe unto them that call evil good,
Mm-hmm.
good evil, that put darkness for light,
Yep.
and light for darkness,
Mm-hmm.
put bitter for sweet, and sweet for bitter.
Right. Woe unto them. Right? Woe in Christ. Woe in Christ. Out of line. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil. Meaning what? Woe unto the so-called oppressors, because they say that marrying a tree, or that a man with a man, or a woman with a woman, or that you can rape people, or you can smoke cigarettes and weed, or let's just up the rate of pork throughout the earth. Woe unto them, meaning destruction unto them, because that is evil. They think that two men and two women sleeping together is good. And God says, woe unto them, because in the scriptures it says that these things are against God, that put darkness for light. They put the alternative lifestyle in our kids' cartoons. They put, every time you look around, they always putting pork everywhere. They always saying that two men can lie together. They literally have reality TV shows about it. They literally have sit downs with two biological men, and one identifies as a man, a straight male, and the other identifies as a trans, like he transferred over, and calls himself a woman. He identifies as a woman. That's darkness that they put into the light. And God says, woe unto them, and light for darkness. Well, they're trying to shut down the ISUPK Canada Commanding General Hunter because we teach the truth of the Bible. That put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. They say, you know, if you are part of the alternative lifestyle, that's a good thing. That's a sweet thing. It tastes good. If you are two lesbians, that's a good thing. It must taste good, like some good food. That's what they're doing. They're making it seem like it's a delicacy or a treat to have, to indulge in. When in all actuality, it's not. It's against God. And by you following the ways of America, how much longer ye simple ones live in simplicity?
How much longer must we get unalived in the streets? How much longer must we be lied to on the color of Christ? How much longer must we get high blood pressure and diabetes to know that we need to stop eating pork? Can it click? I just don't understand. So basically, you're telling me that whatever your boss tells you to do at work, you say, how high? If he say jump, how high? How high, boss? If he say, well, we really ain't gonna need you coming in, today a holiday. You took the day off. You get back to work the next day. All your coworkers said, "What was you at yesterday?" Well, the boss said, "Take off. We had a holiday." Bro, what? I was here. I'm getting hell hours. I ain't got overtime. The point I'm trying to make is we believe everything that our oppressor says. Everything. But the moment God is really in your face talking to you through these scriptures, you don't want to listen. The moment God really sends his priests and prophets down to the earth, right? He sends, not down to the earth, but sends us across the earth to go and profess the real Messiah, to go and profess the true color of Christ, to go and profess the true law, statutes, and commandments that the Bible speaks of, and the man of sin be revealed. And who our brothers and sisters really are, y'all say that's bitter. Y'all say that's evil. That's what y'all do. And the Lord says, woe unto you guys. Woe unto you. Just like it says in Jeremiah 23 and 1 and verse 2, when it talks about the so-called pastors. Woe unto the pastors because they scatter my flock and my sheep abroad. Because they doing the work of the so-called Caucasian man for him. That's what they're doing. And God says, woe unto all those things because they are not of me. Let me get Proverbs 10 and 8. Right? Now we're going to start to get into it a little bit deeper.
Proverbs chapter 10, verse. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a parting fool shall fall.
Read it again.
The wise in heart, Salakia, verse 8. The wise in heart will receive commandments, but a parting fool shall fall.
Right. The wise in heart will receive commandments. The wise in heart meaning your mind. The wise in your in mental, in mind, will receive the commandments. Not receiving meaning like they're given to you, because the law, statutes, commandments was already given to us in the days of Moses. But when it says to receive, it means like you will understand it, if that makes sense. Like if I tell you, hey bro, don't go around that block messing with them boys, man. They bad news, bro. You go and do it. You didn't receive what I said. If I tell you again, I say, hey, bro, don't go around that block messing with them dudes, but they selling drugs and ain't no good news. They be gang banging. And you say, all right, I ain't gonna go, bro. You received what I said. Like you took it in and absorbed it, right? So the wise in heart, the wise in mind will receive the commandments, meaning that you'll understand what the commandments are saying because you're wise enough to understand it. And you'll be like, right, I can't eat pork because I'm wise in my heart to receive the commandments. The commandment was what? To not eat pork. But a prating fool shall fall, right? So somebody to be prating means somebody that talks foolish. What a so-called Christian pastor talks foolish, he's a prating fool. The so-called Caucasian man is a prating fool, and they shall fall. And how many times, again, that if you go to the hospitals and look at the statistics of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians that come in there for high blood pressure and high cholesterol, and what is the main cause? That it is pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. Main one being pork. That how many times that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians go to the hospital because they have HIV and AIDS? because two men are sleeping together? Or how many times that you got two women and now this woman she wanna have a baby, but she can't because she done damaged her body? She done got so many abortions. And I'm saying when she was messing with men, of course, right? Of course, at this point, they'll be adopting the kid, but let's just say she go back to saying she like it men. Now she can't, she messed up her body, got too many abortions. She using them little them little plastic things that the fake rods and all that stuff, messing their body up. And now they want to sit here and complain in the hospital. Well, nah, you wanted to follow the ways of the world. You wanted to do all that stuff. The Lord looking at you like, you Gucci, go ahead. That what he's saying. Hey, you got it, man. You was wise in you into your own understanding. What I said wasn't enough. I must not be God. I must not have no authority. You right. Right? So I can give me verse 9.
Verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
So say that again.
He that walketh uprightly walketh surely, but he that perverteth his ways shall be known.
Right. Right. He that walketh uprightly walketh surely. What does it mean to be walking upright? Meaning like you're walking morally. You're morally right. You do what's right or in a righteous way. You walk surely because you know that the way that you are walking, there's no fault in that, and you are sure in that. Right?
That's right.
But he that perverteth his ways shall be known. Right? Meaning to perverteth, meaning to go astray, or like he just leaned to his own understanding, right? Or he think, well, that's not morally right. I just want to think what I want to think. He shall be known. You're gonna know him, and that's what our so-called oppressor is. He's the same way. He's known for his perverted ways because he turns away from the truth. He don't believe that Christ black. He don't think that the Bible has a purpose. He don't think that the Bible is right. He's saying God wrong. In other words, he shall be known because the ways of his life is misdirecting. So you're gonna know. You're gonna know like his ways that he live in is not of God. It's misinterpreted. So he's going to be known. Right? Give me verse 11.
Verse 11. The mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, but violence covereth the mouth of the wicked.
Right. And this is what I'm saying. You can obtain wisdom through the commandments, and I'll say this why. Because Proverbs chapter 10, verse 11 says, the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. The well of life. Okay, I'll give an example. If you were dying of thirst, 108 degrees outside, and you have not found water, for miles, and somehow you stumble across a well full of water, and you drink it, it's going to quench your thirst. That's what it's going to do. You're no longer going to be thirsty because you at least have a good amount of supply of water. And you can use this water to cook with. You know what I'm saying? To bathe with. You can use it for a lot of things. Now you have this water. It literally brought the nutrients back in your life. It brought you back to life, right? I say all that to say this. The mouth of a righteous man is of like that water that you get when it's 108 degrees outside and you dehydrated. I use that example because what? Here in America, that's how we feel. We feel like we've been living for years and years and years with no water, no good, clean water. And we are dying to just drink some water. We're dying of thirst. We want some water and need water. And the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. Meaning what? Well, if he's righteous, he keeps the law, statutes, and commandments. Now, this is metaphorically saying that he's giving your spirit life. Because we so beat down here in America, we have no spirit. So the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life. That's what it is. So when you come across him, you're like, I've been dying of thirst. I ain't thirsty no more. But I still want some water now, though. I kind of like it here. Like, you're not going to leave that well. You're going to stay at that well because you want more water. And the reason why the mouth of a righteous man is a well of life, because he keeps the law, statutes, commandments. In other words, he's a refreshment to what you have been going through here in America. And you should say, Barakatah Yahweh Yahweh Shai. You should say, thank God that he sent his prophets out in the streets, the righteous men. So that way the words that come out of their mouth can be used as a well of life. One more in Christ, sis. One in Christ. Right? That's what you should do. But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. Right? But violence covereth the mouth of the wicked. That's all he cared about. That's all he think about. That's all that's in his mind. Violence. Like it's in Isaiah 59:7. Hey, that's all he think of. He got thoughts of iniquity. He make haste to shed innocent blood. His feet run to evil. That's all that come out of his mouth is violence, violence, violence. Because since day one, when Christopher Columbus came over here, you read the story and got doggone school, it was a peaceful exchange. Nope. Violence covered his mouth. As soon as he came over here, hey, anything that came out of his mouth was violent. It wasn't no peace treaty. Man, he seen them Native Indians, he said, I'm gonna kill you. And that's what he did. Even the buffalo. Then gave them smallpox infested covers, blankets. And then when you read about this in school, you're like, well, it was a peaceful exchange. They came over here, it was cool. No, bro, they went against the Native Indians and then even made Native Indians go against themselves. Then killed the buffalo, didn't use the buffalo's fur to make no teepees, to make no type of clothing, no shoes. They didn't use it for nothing. Just skinned them and just let the buzzards come and eat them up. And you know how many pounds of buffalo was killed? The thousands, to the point to where I don't even see buffalo at all. The only time you can see them is if you go to a privately owned ranch or a doggone zoo. That's how evil these people are. And if they so evil to do that, what make you think that when they give you a god doggone false religion called Christianity, Roman Catholicism, that they're going to be any better to treat you right when they literally came over here and unalive your brothers and sisters, livestock, and themselves, and gave them all types of diseases and gave them swine and everything unlawful according to the scriptures, and committed unlawful acts. So what make you think that when they give us Christianity that's not going to be wicked? I mean, how can these people be trusted? I don't understand that the moment another Mexican man do something to another Mexican, another black man do it to another black man, another Native Indian, the moment he transgress you, the moment he go against you or he make you feel some type of way, you ready to knock his head off. If he owe you $5 and he didn't give you that $5 on that day because something came up, when you see him, it's on site and you're going to confront him about it. And you're not trying to hear none day he got to say. Over $5. Now y'all into it, you probably don't unalive the brother over $5. Now you're doing more than 5 years in prison over $5 when it could have been a 5-minute conversation and y'all could have been living for another 5 years. You not see the breakdown of that? But following the ways of these people, we became fools. But you see, when we were following God, we were wise because we kept the commandments. We obtained wisdom. But the moment we wanted to follow them god doggone jokers, said the grass green on that side, you see what the heck happened. You see that they came and killed the native Indians, right? We won't follow them and trust them. They came and killed our brothers and sisters and didn't make a day about it. What we in? We in September? What they got? October and November. So around what? November, around that time is Thanksgiving. When that's a mockery in itself. It wasn't no thanks. They said thanks was like after they unalived us, they're like, thank you that you just let us unalive you. Thank you that you trusted me and I unalived you. And then thanks for the land. Thanks that now for decades, I can make a day called Thanksgiving as a mockery of the native Indians. Make it make sense. When you follow these people, you become a fool. They make a whole day about it. You know how even that in itself of how much that we are fools because we celebrate the dang day. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians celebrate Thanksgiving and we know the true history. That's how you know we fools. They done fooled us so bad. It's like when you gonna gird up your loins and fight back, man. Because I'll tell you this right now. Ain't no black, Hispanic man and Native Indian man let no another black man punch him in the face. He ain't gonna let him come and rape his wife. He ain't gonna let him come and rape his kids and molest his kids. No, he gonna get some get back. So why can't it be the same in return for the so-called oppressors? Now, I'm not inciting violence. I'm not inciting riots. But what I am saying, the way that we can fight them is through God. You ain't got to go out there and unalive no white man, no Arab. You ain't got to do that. They love to do that. They ain't going to do nothing but just start a war. And they're going to win that war because they was blessed with the sword. They got all these machineries and guns. They ain't going to do nothing. Like, we need to be alive, right? And have a purpose that at least if we're going to die for something, that we die for the right cause. But not just crashing out, just because we've been so hurt. No, you got to have a reason. Be morally correct while you're doing this and have a plan according to it. And that plan is what? To bring Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back together. So when they look at us, they say, what a wise and understanding nation. What a wise and understanding people. I mean, these people, the same people that we've been unaliving and kept in captivity since Egypt, they seem to be smart. They seem to know what to eat. And then, you know what I'm saying? You're going to have white people come to you, Arabs. Man, why y'all look so healthy? How y'all so healthy? How do y'all maintain and stay alive? Like, man, I've been struggling, man. I think it's the pork, but I really don't know. And then we edify them and let them know that the entire time you're not supposed to be eating that, even though he a heathen. Because we have the understanding and wisdom through the scriptures to know not to eat these things. And the entire earth will know what the wisdom and understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments is. That's why in the kingdom of heaven, where Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians will rule under Christ, and they'll have the 144,000 that govern the society, the ones that's going to be judging matters as it happens. People are going to know, hey, you better not be eating that stuff around here. And there's people that's going to understand the reason why not to. Because in Leviticus 11:7, the priest was saying don't eat it. And this entire time I didn't know. I was just talking about my forefathers that we can eat it. And we was God's chosen people. The whole time he wasn't. You have to really learn from the true priest of God. You really have to learn what the law, statutes, and commandments is. The wicked are going to learn as well. But at least before that, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to stop following the wicked and become wicked like them. Because in that day, when Christ come back, he going to say, I never knew you because you didn't keep his father's commandments. We didn't keep our father's commandments. How I'm going to say I know you, I recognize you, I can vouch for you if you're not, so like you're willing to put in the work to prove that you can be ye therefore perfect as our Father is in heaven. Make it make sense. Everybody else got reading comprehension and can comprehend, you know what I'm saying? And be cordial in situation and come to an agreement or understand stuff when it's their boss, when it's a pagan religion, a pagan holiday, a video game, a TV show. But when it comes to God, you just don't want to sit there and try to, you know, try to find out how this will affect my life if I apply it to my life. Because everything else, you don't even utter your lips. You even bat an eye. Okay. If I'll say be here at 6:30, you're gonna be there. Okay. I'm gonna be there. But the moment in the scriptures, God say, don't celebrate Thanksgiving, don't celebrate your birthday. Now you mad with God. You're like, man, what the hell, God? Man, I'm celebrating my birthday, bro. I don't care if Christ ain't do it. I'm celebrating my birthday. How you say you're a follower of Christ if Christ didn't do it? And Christ was perfect. In the scriptures, Christ told people, especially his brethren, to be therefore perfect as our Father is in heaven. Seems very hypocritical, doesn't it? Seems like you're kind of a fool and you're not acknowledging the wisdom that God is giving to you right in front of your face. I mean, how much more simpler can it be? How much more? And that's exactly why just because you're older does not mean that you are wise. It doesn't. How many great grandmas and grandmas we done had that been old, 80, 90, because she lived that long, we think that she wise. Well, you know, baby, if you just take that little pork right there and you go and heat it up or put it on that fire, the germs gonna get up out of it. You know, heat kill germs. And you can eat it, and while you're eating it, you pray up over it as it's going down, and it going to your stomach. And then goddamn 2 months later, you got high blood pressure and you got tapeworms in your stomach. But grandma, I thought you said if I pray over, I thought you said that he killed the germs and kill the worms. Exact reason why age has nothing to do with wisdom. You can be of any age and learn the true wisdom, what it means to really have wisdom here in these scriptures. But if you're not embedded in these scriptures, you are not wise. You are not wise. And how do I know? Because God knows everything. God knows it. Like it gets to a point to where some people, we can't even understand the earthly things. How are we going to talk about heavenly things? I read some stuff in the Bible and I can't even fathom to put my head and wrap it around like what the heck I'm reading. Like when they talk about that brothers will have superpowers, like them anime characters. And like Iron Man and them. Like I think about stuff like that. It's like how? But somebody else reading that, they would have not known that. Because you don't have no wisdom. He's not wise in heart to receive the commandments, to understand the Bible. He lacks understanding. You lack understanding when you're smoking weed. You don't know that what it truly means to take care of your temple. Just because it's a plant does not mean that is healthy, especially in a smoking form. You're literally inhaling smoke. I mean, so you mean to tell me that if I inhale smoke because this is a plant and I roll it up, that is cool. But wait, when I go buy the cigars, it says that this may cause lung cancer. Clearly on the package at the bottom, it's very big. This may cause lung cancer. Warning. Use at your own risk. Okay, it's cool. I'm gonna bypass that. Then take the tobacco out. You know, put your little weed in, right? And you smoke the weed. You think it's cool, but the entire time the goddamn cigarillo is got cancer paper in it, and it just said that it can cause lung cancer. Not only that, you're inhaling smoke literally in your lungs. Oh, but it's healthy though. So how come when we go play basketball, we run up down the court, you out of breath? How come when somebody run up on you, you can't defend yourself? Because your lungs can't expand to get enough air in your body because you're not healthy. How come when you go to the hospital, your lungs black and mine pink, mine healthy? Because it's not of God. It's not. It's wicked. And it causes you to unalive yourself. That's what it does. Right? Give me verse 12.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 12. Hatred stirreth up strifes,
Mm-hmm.
but love covereth all sins.
Right? Hatred stirreth up strife, but love covereth all sins. Right? Okay. Let me break this down. Hatred stirreth up strife, right? To have strife with somebody is like you have an alt. You know what I'm saying? You're at ways with this particular person. Now I use an example for like brothers, right? If you hate your brother without a cause, you are in fear of the judgment, as it says in the scriptures. But I'm gonna use this in a worldly sense, right? A brother hating on this brother because he getting money. He got nice cars. He got all the attention. And all eyes on him. Now this other brother, he probably got some good music too, right? I'm using his two artists, right? But he ain't as popping, but he's popping, right? But you don't get that much attention. And this normally is one of the causes here in the hood of what happens between our brothers, right? He ended up talking to this girl. Now this girl was fair game. This girl went with neither of them. But he mad, so he start backbiting. He start gossiping about his brother. I don't even know why she chose that dude. Yada yada yada, man. He ain't on nothing. He ain't really get no money for real. That money be fake. Them chains fake. Nigga car rented, all type of stuff. So like he talking like this to his homeboys about this other dude, right? That's in the hood, popping, making his way. So now it's stirring up a strife. So now when they meet, it's tension. They at odds with each other, right? They want to go at each other's head. That's what they want to do. They're very angry at each other, very bitter, right? But love covereth all sins, right? Meaning what? What would love be if I'm showing it to my brother? If I'm showing love to my brother, the love would be what? Showing him that he's either a black man from the tribe of Judah or he's a Haitian from the tribe of Levi, showing him who the true color of Christ is, showing him that in the scriptures, Leviticus 11:7 says to not eat pork. In the scriptures, it says to treat others as you wanted to be treated. Love your brother, love your neighbor. Now at this point, like he not seeing no bad, like he actually seeing his brother for his brother. He's actually keeping the commandments. He's not at all with his brother. He loves his brother. And therefore, he will see no sin because he has the wisdom and understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments. You see, in the Christian church, he didn't know that. He didn't know you're supposed to love your brother. So since he didn't know he was supposed to love your brother or his brother, he committed acts of sin. He went to his brother block and unalived him in front of the man, woman, and took the kid. He didn't know to love his brother, so he sold drugs to people's mothers. He didn't know to love his brother. He went and touched on his brother's daughter and raped her. He committed acts of sin because he was not shown love. But once you shown love by your brother and to understand that, hey, we are not enemies. We're supposed to unify. I'm on your side, you're on my side, and we got to fight a common enemy. And that's the oppressors. And once we do that together, then we have gained wisdom. But until then, if we keep going on this bumpy, long, sad road, it's gonna be a long, bumpy ride. Salakia. Right? It ain't gonna be a pleasant one. It's gonna be full of dark things. And the longer we dwell on that dark road, the further we going into darkness and away from the light. And it's not going to be pleasant because at that point, I mean, you get to a certain point, it's like, okay, when Christ come back, you still on the same road, okay, you got to be destroyed with him. Because you're not for me. You're not pro-God. You're not pro-black. You're not pro-black and brown. You're not pro-law, statutes, and commandments. You anti. You against everything that God says to do. You're against everything that God loves. You're against your brother. You're against your sisters. You don't like Mexicans. You don't like Native Indians. You don't like Puerto Ricans. Like, you just don't like your people. And y'all go through the same thing. Right? Give me verse 14.
Verse 14. Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction.
Read that again.
Wise men lay up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction.
Wise men lay up knowledge. The men in the ISUPK lay up knowledge. How do I know? Well, when we go out to the street corners, you're learning things that you have never learned before. For 30 years of your life, you didn't know Christ was black. You said it with your lips, but you needed concrete evidence. You needed concrete proof. And when we read those scriptures in Revelation, 1 and 13, 14 and 15, talks about the color of Christ, right? And of course, in Revelation, that's talking about his new body, of course, as we're talking about the eyes of lightning, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera. But the main point is at least the color of it, right? We lay up knowledge because you didn't know that Christ was an austere man. You didn't know that Christ had hair as white as snow and the hairs on his head were white. You didn't know he wore a garment. You didn't know that he was a real prophet, for real. You didn't know that you didn't know his message when he was walking the earth. You didn't know that the entire time he was trying to bring the two sticks back together, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, because we were split up. You didn't know his entire message was brotherhood. You didn't know that he loved his brethren so much that he gave his life on the cross. That was the reason. And it was specifically for the nation of Israel. You didn't know that. You didn't know that he died for the nation of Israel. We lay up knowledge. We would have never known to not eat pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster. I mean, you being born here today in America, it's a normal. If you ain't eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, if you ain't smoking no weed, got a little vape pen, little vape box, them little V8 batteries they be smoking, you ain't got one of them, you ain't hip, you ain't cool. What you came out the womb without one? Well, when I was born in my hospital, we was prescribed with them. So since birth, I had a vape pen. It's a normal thing. Vape pen, iPhone. Hey, I'm set. I'm set. Just give me a little TikTok account. I'm set. Right? We lay up knowledge to let you know what? The things that you're doing, the way that you're living, ain't gonna cut it. You see what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah with them doggone Africans. Uh-oh. This ain't of God. Somebody gotta go. Wiped out. Sodom and Gomorrah gone. Right? Hold up. The days of Noah. It was only Noah and his family. It was only 8 people on the earth. But God loved everybody. Bam. Flood the earth. Hold up now. Fast forward to now. Well, you say 2 men can sleep together. Okay. Survey says that's a lie. Because statistically, HIV and AIDS is rising in men. Well, 2 women can sleep together. Survey says that's a lie. 2 women cannot have a kid. 2 men cannot have a kid. How are you going to be fruitful and multiply and flourish the earth with God's chosen people? It's 2 men rubbing up on each other and one dressed like a woman. It's two women, one dressed like a man, you know, the studs, and one that look girly. I'm like, how does that make sense? I've never seen 2 lions be together in a happy relationship. I've never seen 2 male elephants be together in a happy relationship. I've never seen 2 male frogs. There's a male and a female. That's common sense. I mean, common sense tell you if you a man, you look at your body parts, your anatomy, and you look at a woman. Something got to give. Somebody got something to do this, and somebody got something to do this. But if you look at your anatomy and your partner got the same anatomy as you, you put 2 and 2 together. Let me know how y'all produce kids. But the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The so-called oppressors they're foolish, and it's near destruction. They're the ones. So-called Barack Obama, a so-called African, legalized alternative lifestyle marriages. He's a fool, and led us to destruction. Because now you have a high rate of Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians becoming the alternative lifestyle community, the face of it, and pushing that agenda. Destruction. Now niggas got AIDS and HIV. Now you dying. Now the blood literally on your hands. It's literally in your bloodstream. Now you dying. Now you can't be a father. Rest of your life, you gotta take medication. Because you ain't finna go sleep with a woman. You already ashamed now that you gotta live with this. Right? They say, well, you can marry a tree. You marry a tree. Why am I marrying a tree for? A tree can't have kids with me. All the tree got is tree bark. It might come with some tree sap, a couple of ants, spiders, and beetles. I want that. Well, America says that, you can probably marry a cow. What the hell I'm doing sleeping with a cow? Well, they say Christ white. They say God love everybody. No. Because in the scriptures, it says Christ was only sent for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Cows ain't made to be hunched on. And God don't love everybody. Because it was only 8 people on the earth when Noah was living. If God loved everybody, then how come when we were in Egypt, God didn't save the Africans as well? They part of everybody. They're part of the world. But he didn't save them. Because we are his children. He is our father. And they had his children captive and did some horrific things to us in that captivity and refused to let us go. That's why he sent Moses to say, go and let my people go. They've had enough. And Pharaoh wasn't even trying to do that. After having us for so long and doing the crazy, unimaginable things that happened to us. I mean, for crying out loud. They are fools. It's near destruction. Wise men lay up knowledge. Listen to the priests and prophets that go out there on those street corners. Wherever state that you may dwell in. Listen to them because they are laying up knowledge. But if you listen to the fools, you are near destruction. You are. You know how I know? Because the fools say, well, if you live in America or you live anywhere across the world, you can do whatever you want. You're free-spirited. God's not real. Or Allah this, and you should go do this pagan religion, and God loves everybody. Right? And you're so far gone from the fact that World War III is literally around the corner. You're so far gone around the fact that in the scriptures it says that every nation will go back to its own nation. Meaning Asians gonna go to Asians. You ain't gonna have your Asian friend that cook them good noodles that you like. No, when they come in that day, when Christ come back, in that day, and he going back to his Asian family, Unlings and them, and Kim Jong-uns. They're gonna be with them. Well, Timmy, Tom, and Turner gonna be where these other white people at. They practicing right now hunting. Because they're preparing. And we following them like fools. And they fooled us and they sitting back laughing. Because they know that they're bringing us to destruction. And the longer they can do that, the longer Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, will never be on top. Because we following fools right into the god doggone rattlesnake pit. That's what's happening. When World War III come, literally, the missiles, the UFOs, and the angels, that's like rattlesnakes biting you. You get bit by a rattlesnake and you don't have that venom in enough time, you're going to die. That's just what's going to happen. And we fail to realize that. Right? Give me verse 16.
Verse 16.
Mhm.
Labor of the righteous tendeth to life,
Mhm.
the fruit of the wicked to sin.
Right. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life. I'm going to break this down. What does it mean by the labor of righteous tendeth to life? Meaning the righteous men, like the brothers that you see before you on the street corners, right? The brothers that you might are witnessing here in this class. The labor of the righteous tendeth to life. This class is the labor of the Most High. Like this is the work. We go out on the street corner, that's the labor. We are the righteous. We are working for God. We are out here trying to bring Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians back just like Christ did. Because the labor of the righteous tendeth to life. We're pro Black and brown people. We're pro Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because we all done went to oppression together. We are all God's chosen people. And by us going out on the street corner telling our brother, hey man, stop selling them drugs. That's the labor. That's something that only the righteous do because we tendeth to life. Tendeth meaning that we pay attention to it. We tend to it, like we care for it. That's what we care for. We care for life. The fruit of the wicked to sin. The fruit of the wicked to sin. Well, who's the wicked? So-called oppressors. And the fruit, the fruit that comes from their tree is wicked. It's like if you take an apple and you bit into it and it was just black. You're going to spit it out. It got worms all in it. It's not enjoyable. It don't have the natural sugars. It's all shrinked up and it's black. It got holes in it. There's a spider in there, all types of stuff. You're going to spit it out. I mean, in your right mind, any man or woman should do that. They would do that. If you ate rat poison, if you accidentally ate rat poison or accidentally ate dog food, right? You're going to spit it out. So why willingly go and eat rat poison? Why willingly go and eat a roach? Why willingly go and say, hey, I got a bottle of bleach, let me drink it. Now you know the consequences of drinking bleach. You should know the consequences of what? Eating pork. You should know the consequences of what? Two men lying together. You should know you're going to get AIDS and HIV. But the reason why we do these things is because we have so much leisure and so much privilege here in America. And there's nobody here to judge. Nobody says what you're doing is wrong, because if you do say something to utter your lips, you get canceled. Somebody says something, hey, don't control his life. That's his body, his life. Her body, her choice. If you want to drink that bleach, let him drink it and let him die. Because why? The wicked tend to sin. And if you drink bleach, he wants you to die. Because guess what? If you don't die drinking the bleach, he's going to kill you in another way. He's going to say, hey, smoke this weed. I'm going to legalize weed. I'm going to legalize homosexuality. He's going to kill you another way. Because all they think for is the sin. Well, let's say Christ white. I got this new religion, Got a new religion coming up. Got a new white boy that's a Messiah. You come serve him because they're sinful. They have thoughts of iniquity and they want to unalive you. That's why you got to understand that if you understand that the Jews are black, if you understand that Christ is black, if you understand that the priests and prophets are black, you understand the real message of Christ, that he tried to bring the two sticks back together, that he spoke against the rich, that he spoke against the earth, that he was uplifting blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, his brethren and sisters, that you understand that he was he strived to be perfect as our Father is in heaven. He was perfect. He completed that. And he wants nothing for the best for us. Then you'll understand that the labor of the righteous tendeth to life, and you'll understand that that is wisdom. You'll be obtained wisdom and understanding that, hey, we are actually teaching the law, statutes, and commandments. Maybe one time when you're hearing us, you'll walk by and say, what? What you just say? I can't eat pork. Why? Well, do you understand that the Bible consists of the law, statutes, and commandments? Yes. Do you say you love God? Yes. Well, God say, don't eat this. But where can you show me that at, brother? Hey, give me Leviticus chapter 11, verse 7. We're going to go down the line. I'm going to let you know something, brother. I'm going to edify you today. And once you leave from here, I ain't going to hold you long. This ain't no goddamn church service in a black neighborhood. This is what I will say. Once you leave from here, at least you got some understanding. And you come back and you want to drink some more water so you can attain some more wisdom. Because this right here is a commandment. It is. And now you sitting yourself thinking, well, you doggone right. Okay, I do love God. I do gotta keep the commandments. But let me try. Okay, I did that. I ain't eating no pork no more. What else? What else I gotta do? I gotta stop smoking. I don't know about that one. Okay, I'm gonna try, man. I do say I love God. I want to go to heaven. Like that's the type of things that we strive for. That's what we labor for. Because we are pro Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian lives. And we want them to be able to have the chance to obtain wisdom through these commandments. That's why we go out there on the street corners and teach it. That's why we teach these classes. That's why we go to boots on the ground. That's why we go to events, because we want them to be able to understand the scriptures, to really have wisdom, and not just say I have wisdom because I'm 80 or I'm 60. That means nothing to the Most High God because you're 80 and you think you have wisdom based on your own understanding. Now, according to the scriptures, you got to study to show thyself approved. You got to study these scriptures and obtain wisdom from these scriptures and apply it to your life. And you'd be a wise man that if you keep these laws and commandments and you actually apply them to your life, you're wise. Maybe you really did realize that, hey, fearing the Most High God is something to do, because you'll think about the days of Noah. You'll think about Sodom and Gomorrah. Right? You'll think about the days in Egypt. You'll think about David and Goliath. You'll think about America here today. What happens when you don't fear God, and what happens when you do. Right? Give me Proverbs 15. No. Yeah, give me Proverbs 15 and 4. Yeah, that's what I want. 15.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit.
Read that again. Hold up. Okay. I said 15. I said,
Con.
right? Yeah. 15.
Con.
Okay.
15, verse 4.
10. Go ahead.
A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness, Salakia, therein is a breach spirit.
A wholesome tongue, right?
Con.
Is a tree of life, right? Meaning of good health. It has good intent. So a wholesome tongue is a tree of life. A wholesome tongues that you'll find is like the men and women here in the ISUPK Commanding General Yohana. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. We are at good heart. We have good intentions. We are pro-Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian lives. We are against the ways and the unjust morals and the unjust principalities here in America. We tell the truth and debunk all the lies of America that they have been hiding. That's what we do, right? But perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit, right? Meaning what? How I say this? Unacceptable, right? It's going to be a breach in the spirit. Like it's a breach meaning, let Like, oh, like, okay, if you ever watch the military movies and I'm about to breach the door, they're gonna break in. Like a breach. It's like, oh, I'm exposed. It's a breach in the spirit. That's what it means. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. And that's what we are trying. That's what you not being wise and understanding that the men in the ISUPK have wholesome tongues and it is a tree of life, leads you to cause a breach in your spirit because you're not understanding. You can't understand why, because our oppressors have fooled us so much and fooled us so long, right? That you lack understanding. And not only that, you like the way that you're living. Like, on one hand, you say you don't, and then on another hand, you say you do. But even when you say you do, sometimes you might do it not even knowing. And then sometimes you deliberately say that you do. And the reason that being is because a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. You can't serve two masters. You can't serve God and then serve the oppressor. You can't serve money and then serve God, right? And the reason that being is because America has made us hypocrites. America has turned us into fools. But how much longer do you want to be a fool? You know, a lot of times when we was growing up, what your mama say? Do I look like Boo Boo the Fool? That's what she used to say. Well, here it is here in America. Look at every Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian's forehead. Invisibly, Boo Boo the Fool is written on their forehead. But they don't even know, because when they look at Boo Boo the Fool on the other end and they both got it, they think it's normal. They don't see no fault in it. They don't see no fault. And how do I know? Boo Boo the Fool, he go to the church and he know that he see that and see that Christ is white in there. And then when we tell him that Christ black, he don't take heed to that and go right back to the church and serve that white Christ. After we just told him to not serve that white Christ, and that's Caesar Borgia, into what? Follow Yahushua HaMashiach. He a fool. And his other homie a fool, he's gonna go right back. Because he got no understanding. He has no wisdom. And he won't be able to obtain that wisdom because there's too many distractions and the demons is easily whooping his tail. Let me tell you this. If you do not take heed, if you do not hearken unto the law, statutes, and commandments, I'm going to tell you exactly what it's like. If you do not hearken unto the law, statutes, and commandments, and you go out into this world, you're going to look like a fool. Even as so much as a fool, you are going to look like Earl Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. Because them demons is going to whoop your behind. You seen what Terrence Crawford did to Earl Spence to the brother, right? In the boxing match. I mean, he was hing. He gave him the Mortal Kombat combo. Yeah, like a times 6 times 7 multiplier. How many points he got? Now I'm just joking, poking fun, but I'm just saying that's how the demon's gonna whoop your tail. When you lean astray away from God. That's how it is. You're gonna be looking like a fool. You're like, man, these demons whoop my tail. I mean, shoot, you started smoking, now you doing crack. Now you doing coke. Now you selling cocaine. Now you raping people. Like, the demon's just gonna be whooping you. I'm talking about like literally whooping you. But if you do take heed and begin to fear the Most High God and want to obtain some true wisdom, you're gonna be on the other end looking like Terrence Crawford whooping them demons. Because Terrence Crawford listened to his trainer. That's why he undefeated. He listened to his trainer. The trainer told him everything to do, he executed. Well, the Most High God literally gave us their training book and his training us to be righteous men and women. The moment you fall astray, you getting whooped like Earl Spence. But if you stay on track, you can have a perfect record like Floyd Mayweather or Terrence Crawford. You can be perfect. You can be therefore perfect as our Father is in heaven, just like Christ said. You need to be 50-0 when it comes to commandments, man. When they read your resume, like you can't say nothing about, and you can't say nothing about Ricardo. You can't say nothing about he 20-0 and he projected. I ain't gonna lie, he got potential to go 50-0. He's strong. Now he got a couple more fights, you know what I'm saying, coming up. He going, it's been pretty easy, but he getting some tougher competition, tougher demons. And I project him to whoop him. I personally done sparred with him. He good. I don't think they're gonna get him now. Okay, where we at now? We at what, 38? Told you. He getting close to 50 now. What demon has stopped him yet? What demon stopped him yet? He knocking every demon out. Why? Because he got wisdom through the commandments. He got wisdom. Hold up, man. Oh my God, this is strongest demon. Okay, this is his last fight, right? So the couple more fights before that, he had the pork demon. Then after that, shrimp came along. Then lobster, then crab. He whooped all their tails, right? Then we had the marijuana. Oh, he easily blew past that. Then we had crack cocaine. Okay. Last but not least, he about to retire after this fight. He about to. Christ ain't white. This demon's strong. He want him to believe it is. He want him to believe that church real, that Christ white, and this is it. All that stuff you learn, man, you just come back. I'll give you the world. Just come back. I'll give you the entire earth if you just listen to me. And then Ricardo knocked him out. Now he 50-0. And he kept the law, statutes, commandments. There was no fault in him because he had a perfect record. Because he had the wisdom that he was able to attain by taking heed to listening to the priests and prophets, the Most High God sent out to the streets. And he obtained wisdom through the commandments. You see, you make the commandments hard. You make the commandments hard like you make the Sabbath day hard. Man wasn't made for Sabbath. Sabbath was made for man. Men was made for women. Women was made for men, not men and men. See, you're making it hard. I mean, god dang, you want to have a kid, but you over here liking dudes. Stop liking dudes and go like a woman and go have a kid. It ain't hard. But you making it hard because you like living in that life and allowing those demons to dwell in your home, to dwell in your head. They done set up shop. They done got comfortable. He eating Cheetos on the couch. He kicked back watching TV. And the demon is enjoying it because you allow him to stay there. When you need to be going up there, knocking on the door and say, hey, look, bro. Like, hey, you got comfortable a little bit too much, but like, I'm not cutting it, bro. I come up here, it's coke residue, it's cigars all over the goddamn house and everything. I'm saying, like, you got rape allegations. They say that you got allegations of molesting kids and all this stuff. Like, what's up, man? This is not the life I want to live, man. Not the life. And then he look in your face. He's like, bro, shut up. You know you like this life. You know you like living on the edge. No, you'll be a fool to keep living on the edge, dwelling with demons. But you'll be a wise and understanding man if you say, hey, I want to dwell with the righteous men. I want to live a good life. I want to live a good long life and have a lot of kids and have my seed and my name live long and raise more righteous men and upstanding and morally right men and morally right daughters. But not to be a part of a society where molesting and pedophilia and drugs, pagan holidays and religions, and utterly disrespecting the name of God and the reputation of Christ are just are just allowed. This place is hell. It is. This is hell, America. That's what it is. And the longer you dwell in hell, because if I know the story that they used to tell us in church, that if you're going to go down there with the devil in the center of the earth, in the core of the earth, you're going to be down there with the devil, and he got leather pants with boots, horn and skin red with a pitchfork. And you're going to scream all the days of your life and scream and scream and scream because you're getting burned up. You're getting burned up. And they make us be what? Accustomed to living like that. The last time I checked, the so-called devil is walking around the earth right now. We know who he is, the so-called Caucasian man. He ain't got no pitchfork, but he got plenty of weapons. He might wear leather pants. I've seen a couple of them alternative lifestyle dudes wear a couple of them leather pants. He a devil too. They do be screaming. They skin is red. And they do sin. Well, don't that sound like the doggone devil? And don't that sound like an agenda that they push across the earth to make us grow accustomed to so we can be further away from God? Everything is literally in your face. And that's what the Bible teaches us. But the reason why you don't understand that it's in your face is because you're not willing to understand the Bible. You're not willing to try to make room in your mind, get these demons out and make room for righteousness and have the ability to be able to attain wisdom. So you won't know that the Caucasian man is a so-called devil or deceiver. You won't know that. You'll continue to believe the myth that you're going to go into the core of the earth. I mean, how does that make sense? Isn't the core of the earth hot? That's like saying I'm going to go to the sun. Oh, so I'm just going to float up to heaven. No, that's not going to happen. Everybody else going to have a heaven on earth, and black, Hispanics, and Native Indians got to go up to the sky to have heaven? It's cap, man. Heaven going to be right here on earth, just like hell is on earth. Right? Let me get my next scripture. Yeah, verse 5. Get verse 5.
Khan out of one Khan.
Mm-hmm.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction,
Right?
but he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
Right. Read that again.
A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent.
Mm-hmm. A fool despiseth his father's instructions. That's what he do. We were fools when we decided to join our oppressors. We were fools when we decided to join another nation and thought they were better than God. I thought that the life that they was living was better. And we didn't listen to our father's instructions, and that's why we got put in what? Captivity. But he that regardeth reproof, right? He that regardeth reproof is prudent. Now, what does it mean to be prudent? You take a crack at it, Ricardo? What does it mean?
Prudent. Reproof is prudent. He that regardeth reproof is prudent. Disobedient.
Disobedient or obedient?
Disobedient.
No. Okay, think about what does it mean to regard something?
Means to look at it with knowledge, to look at it in patience.
Now you getting there? Yeah, you getting there.
Prudent. Where I'm seeing here, acting. Okay, so looking at something in care.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to you. Yeah. You on the track, right? So, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent, right? Meaning, he that consider reproof is wise. That's what it was saying. Now, of course, you looking at it, you're like, nah, but the reason why I was asking you, but if you look at it, you was getting it though. Because at first it says, a fool despiseth his father's instruction. We despise Yahweh's instruction because we go and serve other gods. We go and do all this other stuff. We go and unlove our brothers when it says to love our brothers. We go and inappropriately touch these sisters when they are sisters. We're supposed to love them and guide them and teach them the right ways. You know what I'm saying? And make sure that they are protected, you know what I'm saying, and cared for. And we do all these dumb, inconsiderate things, and we're fools, right? But he that regardeth reproof is prudent, meaning what? He that consider reproof is prudent, meaning that he is wise. If he even consider trying to change his ways, he consider like, you know, what we've been doing ain't really right. You know, like he kind of think twice about it. He's wise because he's trying to go back and correct those mistakes. And eventually he will, because he'll catch on and say, you know, he has some remorse. He has some regret to say, you know, the things we was doing, man, I ain't gonna lie, that ain't right. And I know it ain't right. I'm gonna change my life, man. I'm gonna renew my mind, man. Like, this ain't good, dog. He's wise to regard reproof. He be wise. Nah, no, because like if he know God how I know God don't play around. That's what I know. That's what I know. I know he don't play around. I know he don't love everybody. I know, what's that one song? It get wicked. Yeah, it get wicked. It get wicked with God. Whatever the brother name that's saying that song. Hey, that's how I imagine Christ gonna pull up. You're gonna be banging on his chest. How they do? You know how they be in the jail? They make their own beat on their chest. He gonna come saying, "It get wicked." Yeah, it's gonna get wicked because all you people ain't been keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. Even if you are the brethren or the sisters, you got to go. Not everybody can stay. Somebody got to be judged because you was a fool and despised your father's instructions. That's what you did. And I got to be the one to come back and give you some judgment. That's just how I got to go. You just got to go like that. You wasn't going to change. You said it, but you was a hypocrite. You trying to honor God with your lips and not with actions. And God is a man of actions and not honor of lips. Because people that speak with their lips are hypocrites. That's why they always got that saying, it's better if a man keeps his word. You know, man respects another man if he keeps his word. Hey, brother, I'm gonna be here 8 o'clock tomorrow to give you this $1,000. And you be there at 8 o'clock and you give him that $1,000. You's a man of your word, brother. Now he respect you more. He can trust you more. Now he know your tendencies. He's like, nah, bro. Don't be speaking of Ricardo like that, bro. Nah, bro. He been upstanding. That man, if he say he gonna do something, he gonna do something. So you saying this about Ricardo that he did this to somebody else? He don't do that, bro. That just don't sound like him. That's not his reputation. That's just not him. Like, I don't know what you talking about. You must be talking about another Ricardo or something. Or you got his name mixed up, Richard or something. It's somebody else you talking about. It ain't who I know. Understood? Give me Proverbs 6 and 17.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Read that again.
A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood.
Right. You see, the so-called oppressors have a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. And since they have that, a proud look meaning I guess you can. I'll say he's full of himself, right? He's very arrogant, right? He sticks his chest out. He's arrogant. I'm the man. USA said they got the best military. They got a proud look. The so-called Caucasian man has a proud look, right? And every other nation that comes here to America and sets up shop in our neighborhoods and our hoods, right? They got proud looks, a lying tongue. You know, you go inside to go to the hood, right? You know what I'm saying? You walk in there, you get you something, and they got the little Arabs. You know, the Arabs be having the them bulletproof windows. They be up in the little case and whatnot, or they be having them bars too. They be protected enough. And then you walk in, right? As soon as you go in there, you go to the bag, you go get your drink. They eyeing you, they watch you. They got their wife watching everything. They're like, hurry up and buy, hurry up and buy. That's what they saying. They're like, hurry up and buy something, bro. They think you gonna steal. Then when you go to the doggone cash register and check out, the same dude that was saying that, he was like, how you doing, brother? Bro, what? Wait, hold up. Not only that, didn't your doggone ancestors make us didn't y'all make ships for us to be transported in, cargo ships? Nah, brother, bro, you lying to me. We ain't no brothers, bro. Your people unalive my people. And y'all hands shed innocent blood. We ain't do nothing to y'all. What we do to y'all? How many times man, they got an innocent brother up in the doggone store in the Arab store, and he get unalive because the Arab think he finna steal. Them Arabs be having AR behind that counter.
That's right.
Even if they're not gonna unalive you, they're gonna call the cops to come unalive you on that property. Because he don't want to see you living. But just a few minutes ago, you saying use my brother. You gotta understand something. All these other nations, they got proud looks and lying tongues. And the more that we follow these people, what happens? Hey, we are more foolish than ever before. That's what happens. We fall deeper into the ditch. And nothing good comes out of it. Nothing. Right? I think that was going to be my last scripture, right? So we can get the security announcements real quick. You got anything to say?
I'm good, thanks.
No sweat.
Wow.
You got it. You can go ahead and read it. Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't get the word. Salakia.
The security announcements, you got them?
Salakia. No, I don't have security announcement here.
Let me see if I got the security. Okay, I got them. I got you. Right. Go ahead. All right. ISUPK security announcement. The ISUPK started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Room for new brother and sister. When a new brother and sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, which can be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, means 10th in the Hebrew, ma'ashara, 10% of every penny or any increase the Lord gives you. Give the treasury department or teacher, priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. All right, and the upcoming holy convocation that we have coming up this month is the memorial of the blowing of trumpets, first day of the 7th month, which is on September the 15th, 2023, which is on a Friday. This also can be found in the book of Leviticus, chapter 23, verses 24 and 25. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, headband, and or scarf. And that concludes the ISUPK security announcements. And real quick, we will get the Lord's Prayer. All right. So Amaju means to stand. We're going to face the east. The east will be to my left. Wherever the east is for you, gotta do this right when our prayers will be heard. We're going to give the Lord's Prayer. All right. All right. The Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Wathka, Taba'ah, Ratazah, Hayah, Aisha, Batarat, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Hashemayim, Nathan Lanawa, Akam, call your woman. Wasalak Yanawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Kasalak Yanawa, Kawawat Yanawa, Wara'a, Taba'ainawa, Banasanawam, Abal, Hawashainawa, Mayan Rai Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwat, Waha Allah, Waha Taparath, La Awalanyim. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be our name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not to temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the power. Salagi. Us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. So be it. All right, we're going to Sar. We're turn and face forward. We're going to give a courtesy salute to the brothers and a courtesy salute to the sisters. Men of Israel, Amajim, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yadya Matah. All right. So like we're going to give a courtesy salute to the sisters, the men of Israel. Amajim, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak, Yahweh Shamal Atah Hashem Yahweh Shah. Most High Christ. All right, class dismissed.